Welcome to the deep dive. Today we are strapping in for an exploration of two massive worlds just colliding. Elite NFL stardom and, global music royalty.
We are absolutely talking about Cardi B and Stefon Diggs.
Exactly, and just the intense whirlwind surrounding the recent birth of their first child together.
Right, and this story isn't just about a headline, It's about the staggering logistical reality of managing immense personal upheaval.
I mean, you have a new baby, a relationship that's moving at light speed, ongoing divorce litigation.
And new paternity revelations. All of it happening while they're trying to maintain two of the most demanding, high-stakes careers on the planet.
That's our mission today, really. To synthesize the information from our sources, these are a collection of very recent reports covering their entire arc to understand what's really going on.
It's a blueprint, really. A blueprint for how ultra-high achievers attempt to find some kind of stability and support while, like you said, navigating absolute chaos in their private lives.
We have to look beyond the joyful announcement to understand the complex machinery that's powering what she calls her new season.
Yeah, you have to treat this as a case study in high-pressure life management.
Mm-hmm.
You, the listener, you really need to understand the full context of their commitments before you can appreciate the weight of that announcement.
It's the sheer density of it all. I mean, the timeline is compressed into less than a year.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Major life decisions that most people would spread out over, a decade?
At least. So, okay, let's jump in. The anchor point for all of this has to be Section 1. The November 4th arrival and initial reveals.
Let's do it.
Okay, so the confirmation came, as it so often does, via Cardi B's social media.
Right.
She and Stefon Diggs welcomed their baby boy on November 4th. The announcement itself was minimal, but very symbolic.
Very. Just the date, a teddy bear emoji, a gray heart, and then the football emojis.
And those football emojis, they immediately ground this whole event in Diggs' professional world, don't they?
Instantly. But before we go further, we have to clarify the family structure right at the top, because this context informs everything else.
Good point. So for Cardi B, this new baby is her fourth child overall.
Right. She already has Culture, who is 7, Wave, who is 4, and Blossom, who's 1, from her relationship with her ex, Offset.
And for Stefon Diggs, this is his third child overall, but his second son.
And this is so critical because both of them are already deeply, deeply immersed in established co-parenting systems.
Systems that, as our sources make very clear, are currently undergoing some intense change and legal scrutiny.
They are not starting from a clean slate here.
Yeah.
Not at all. They are expanding an already complex matrix.
And that complexity, you could see it seep into the initial photo reveal. Let's talk about the visual details.
Okay, so the baby, swaddled in this very notable piece of gear.
Yeah, a New England Patriots blanket with Stefon Diggs' name clearly on it.
This is not some generic football reference. This links the newborn directly to his father's, a $69 million commitment to the Patriots?
It's a statement. And then you had the other snap, the more tender one, of the parents curled up together on the hospital bed.
A little snapshot of intimacy, amidst the whole celebrity spectacle.
But the detail that really got everyone talking, the one that speaks volumes about public expectations versus their reality, was the ring.
The dazzling diamond ring on Cardi B's wedding finger.
Exactly. And it instantly became a headline all by itself.
Well, of course. The public is just conditioned to look for that, for closure and formality in celebrity relationships, especially after a baby.
The immediate leap was, new baby, diamond ring. They must be engaged. Or secretly married.
But this is where the control of the narrative comes in, and why we have to push past that initial speculation.
Right, because the sources were very insistent. A representative for Cardi confirmed very quickly that the accessory is not an engagement band.
So I have to wonder then, why wear it at all? And why feel the need to squash that rumor so fast?
Well, the need for that immediate clarification, it signals that they are very consciously setting boundaries around what their commitment looks like.
So it's not the traditional path.
Not at all. Especially for Cardi B, given her very recent and tumultuous divorce proceedings, which we'll get into. The sources suggest she's carving out a new path here.
One defined by her own personal fulfillment and professional self-determination.
Exactly. It's separate from traditional marital timelines. The ring might symbolize her commitment to Diggs and this new family.
But clarifying that it's not a legal engagement ring is a deliberate move. It's them saying, we define our partnership, not tradition, not public pressure.
And they're certainly not rushing to add another layer of potential legal conflict while they're still dealing with existing ones.
That reframing, defining commitment on her own terms, it lends so much weight to her own public statement in that Instagram caption.
Oh, absolutely. She didn't just announce a birth. She declared, like, a whole philosophical shift.
She used that beautiful metaphor of seasons and chapters.
She did. She said, "My life has always been a combination of different chapters and different seasons."
And she explicitly framed this exact moment, the new baby, her upcoming projects, as the beginning of a new season and a new chapter.
This isn't passive. It's not just something happening to her. It's an active declaration of a pivot.
And the motivation for that pivot is, it seems, fiercely anchored in being a mother.
Yeah, she stated the baby is one more reason to be the best version of me, one more reason to love me more than anything else or anyone else.
That phrasing, it elevates motherhood from just a personal joy to a direct, actionable catalyst for her own improvement, both professionally and personally.
Which is a powerful psychological tool for someone preparing for a grueling world tour and managing all these complex legal issues.
She's publicly declaring that the demands of her children require her to level up in every single area of her life.
Which is a pretty significant departure from just, enjoying a life of celebrity luxury.
Totally. We also got a little glimpse of Stefon Diggs' paternal excitement before the birth. And it contrasts a bit with Cardi's very internal, reflective statement.
Yeah, earlier this month, he's the one who revealed the gender to people, confirming it was a boy.
And his statement was just pure athletic enthusiasm. He said, "That's enough for me."
And then he talked about the physical training. "I can't wait to make him do push-ups and sit-ups and run around."
He gives you that immediate vision, doesn't it?
Yeah.
The elite athlete ready to shape the next generation.
So Section 1 basically establishes this highly motivated couple. They're leveraging a moment of profound personal joy as a springboard for professional excellence.
But they're doing it while meticulously managing the public perception around the formality of their commitment.
And that commitment had to accelerate incredibly rapidly to even get to this point.
Which brings us right to Section 2, the whirlwind romance and mutual support.
The documented timeline of their relationship it's just astonishingly fast, even for people used to life in the fast lane.
It's a high-speed courtship, all under the media glare. The rumors first sparked, October 2024?
Yep. Then we skip to February 2025, and they're spotted together at a nightclub. That's a quick jump from rumor to a visible sighting.
And the escalation just kept going. By May 2025, you see the classic celebrity soft launch.
Met Gala. They attended separately, but then were photographed together at an after-party.
Which signals, that they're ready to acknowledge the connection within their professional peer group, but maybe not ready for the full media blitz.
But the blitz came almost immediately after that. Just days later, they make their formal public debut as a couple at a Knicks game at Madison Square Garden.
The classic relationship confirmation move.
Yeah.
Courtside at a big NYC sporting event. You can't miss it.
And then the definitive confirmation, going Instagram official with those loved-up snaps on a yacht, that happened the very next month in June.
So if you track that from rumors in October 2024 to a public debut in May 2025, and then a baby announcement in September.
You're seeing a relationship that went from 0 to 60 in under a year.
Which demands a massive amount of mutual trust and just intense shared energy.
So it raises the question, what makes that pace sustainable, especially with all the existing complexities in both of their lives?
And the sources point very clearly to one thing: a profound and mutually supportive dynamic.
We saw that support visually, didn't we? Cardi B actively cheering on Diggs at Gillette Stadium earlier this month as the Patriots played the Falcons.
That public display is necessary, but it's the emotional core that really matters. And Cardi articulated this perfectly during her pregnancy announcement on CBS Mornings with Gayle King.
Right, she stated it so simply. "Me and my man are very supportive of each other." But then she expanded on that.
She did. She put it in a professional context. She specifically highlighted that they are in the same space in our careers, both aiming to be the greatest in their fields.
And that shared ambition, that seems to be the true engine of their relationship.
That is the crucial nugget of insight here. They don't need to explain the unique pressure of their lives to each other.
Not at all. Diggs understands the pressure of a massive contract and a brutal, physically demanding schedule.
And Cardi B understands the pressure of a global tour, album cycles, and just intense, constant public scrutiny. They provide a shared language for stress.
And the emotional impact she described, it goes so far beyond just professional understanding. She said, "Stefon just makes me feel safe and very confident and very strong."
In a celebrity world that's defined by volatility, constant travel, rivalry, and personal betrayals, which Cardi has explicitly dealt with in the past. Finding someone who provides that profound sense of safety, it's transformative.
It's an emotional anchor. It allows her to focus her competitive energy outward instead of spending it managing her own internal insecurity.
And that feeling of safety, it translated directly into her professional output. She said that during the super stressful period of dropping her new album, Am I the Drama?
Yeah.
His support was instrumental.
Yeah, she said, he makes me feel very confident, and it makes you feel like you could take over the world.
Take over the world is a metaphor for professional dominance, right?
Right. Absolutely.
The sources paint this picture of a relationship where personal connection is directly leveraged to maximize professional performance.
It's not a pairing that requires them to slow down or sacrifice their career goals.
No, it's one that actively fuels their ability to achieve those goals. It lets them maintain that furious pace because they have this stable internal dynamic.
I do wonder, though, if that stability is just constantly being tested by the immense external forces they're both dealing with right now.
Well, of course.
I mean, they're building this fortress of support at the precise moment their family lives are reaching peak complexity.
And that brings us to Section 3, navigating complex family structures.
This is where we really have to dive into the logistics, because complex is, it's an understatement.
It really is. We are tracking at least 3, arguably 4, distinct co-parenting relationships that require continuous navigation, scheduling, and in some cases, litigation.
Okay, let's start with Cardi B's existing family and ongoing divorce. We mentioned her 3 children with Offset, Culture, Wave, and Blossom.
Right, and their history is substantial. They secretly married back in 2017.
But the key timeline element here is that Cardi B filed for divorce from Offset back in August of 2024.
And we have to remember, she made this move before she publicly announced her pregnancy with Stefon Diggs' child in September.
That's a really important distinction. The decision to legally dissolve her marriage was a standalone move. It predated the public confirmation of her new family chapter.
And the sources confirm the process is far from amicable.
Not at all. She gave a very direct, unvarnished update on The Breakfast Club in September. She said, quote, "It's not peaceful at all. I can't even talk about it because it's a court thing, but it is not peaceful."
Okay, so we have to approach this impartially, just reporting the documented content. But let's analyze the implications of that statement.
A court thing that is not peaceful implies what? Contention over crucial elements.
Likely custody arrangements for their 3 children, potentially asset division, maybe even restraining orders or other legal maneuvers designed to separate their lives.
The emotional and financial toll of a high-conflict divorce is just immense. It requires constant focus from lawyers, from publicists, from the principals themselves.
So think about it. She is juggling the immense joy and immediate demands of a newborn, this highly supportive new relationship.
And the daily, draining reality of contentious divorce litigation involving 3 other children.
That is a massive mental load, even for someone who feels safe and very confident with her new partner.
It creates a really challenging duality, doesn't it? The relationship with Diggs provides the emotional confidence to pursue her dreams.
But the ongoing legal battle with Offset pulls her right back into a highly adversarial, time-consuming, and emotionally draining reality.
So the new season is kind of perpetually interrupted by the unfinished business of the past.
Exactly. And then we pivot to Stefon Diggs' side of the equation, which presents an equally immediate and complex challenge.
Let's talk about B. Stefon Diggs and recent paternity confirmation.
So Diggs already had an older daughter, who's 8 years old, from a previous relationship. That's the 3rd co-parenting structure we're tracking.
But the 4th structure, the one that hit the news at the same time as the birth announcement, involves the newly confirmed paternity of his daughter, Charlie.
Can you just detail the timeline of this new paternity case? It's tight.
It is. Last December, an Instagram model named Eileen Lopra, who's known as Lord Giselle, filed a petition to establish paternity.
Their baby girl, Charlie, was born in April of this year.
Right. And Diggs had initially disputed paternity, which is what necessitated the legal intervention.
But crucially, the sources confirmed that paternity was legally established and acknowledged just before, or concurrent with, the birth of his new son with Cardi B.
The synchronization of these 2 major family milestones it's staggering.
I mean, acknowledging a daughter whose paternity was initially disputed and welcoming a new son.
It means Diggs has gone from having 2 known children to 4 children across 3 different mothers, all within a matter of months.
And that means 4 distinct co-parenting relationships to manage. The mother of his older daughter, Eileen Lopra, and now Cardi B.
Lopra's lawyer, Tamar Armanek, struck a tone of resolution at least. She stated, "Now that the child's paternity has been established and Mr. Diggs has acknowledged his daughter, my client hopes they can work together for the child's best interests."
That statement signals a vital transition from a legal dispute to, hopefully, cooperation.
And Lopra's own public reaction on Instagram, "You know what, God, I thank you for everything." It suggests a sense of relief that comes with that public acknowledgement.
But the challenge isn't over. It's just shifted from legal to logistical.
Because we know that Stefon Diggs made his commitment clear back in September. If paternity was confirmed, he wants joint legal and physical custody of Charlie.
Okay, let's just analyze what joint physical and legal custody of a baby girl who lives in a different location from his primary residence as an NFL player, what that truly entails.
This is the deep dive into the practical reality of it.
Joint physical custody means shared time. For an NFL player with a rigorous, non-negotiable schedule, this requires an incredible level of coordination with Lopra.
Travel becomes a constant factor.
Constant. It could require him or his staff to manage frequent cross-country trips for the infant, or ensuring he has adequate housing and staffing in multiple locations.
And legal custody means he's part of all major decisions. Medical, educational, religious. That's a huge time investment beyond the football field.
So you've got Cardi B managing a non-peaceful divorce for 3 children while co-parenting a newborn with Diggs.
And at the same time, Diggs is setting up a brand new joint custody arrangement for an infant daughter he just acknowledged, while also maintaining commitments to his older daughter.
They're launching a new family while simultaneously restructuring 2 previous family units.
The mental accounting required for scheduling, for emotional bandwidth, for financial coordination, it's just immense.
Which brings us back to their relationship. If the bedrock of it is that feeling of safety and confidence, it's because they have to be absolutely certain of each other to manage this massive, shared, complex family ecosystem.
This management is a full-time, high-stakes job on top of their actual careers.
And those careers are not slowing down. In fact, they're entering a new, defining phase.
Which brings us to Section 4, the next professional chapter, me versus me.
And the sources really suggest that Cardi B is channeling all the volatility of her personal life directly into her professional narrative.
She's not hiding from the drama, is she? She's owning it and rebranding it.
Totally. Her new album, Am I the Drama, which dropped in September, confirms she is creatively addressing this whole turbulent period.
And her focus is entirely forward, dictated by a massive performance schedule.
That's the crucial element, preparation for the Little Miss Drama Tour. It's slated to kick off next year on February 11th in Palm Desert, California.
Okay, let's just sit with that date for a second. February 11th.
Wait, that is what, barely 3 months after giving birth in November?
3 months. The physical and mental recovery required to be ready for an elite, stadium-level world tour 3 months postpartum is extraordinary.
This isn't just about showing up. She's promised to deliver the performance of a lifetime.
Which demands rigorous physical training, choreography rehearsals, costume fittings, the entire logistical load of launching a global tour.
All while managing a newborn and ongoing litigation.
She even acknowledged this demanding schedule in her birth statement. She said she's getting my body right, getting my mind right for the tour.
That's the preparation phase for self-mastery.
And that mastery leads directly to her powerful declaration about her next era, which frames all this chaos as a necessary battle for personal evolution.
Let's analyze this deeply. This next chapter is me versus me. It's me against all odds, me against everything meant to get in my way.
That is a declaration of emotional autonomy.
It is. By framing her biggest fight as internal, me versus me, she minimizes the power of external critics, ex-partners, even the media.
And that phrase, everything meant to get in my way, that likely encompasses the emotional baggage of her divorce, the stress of co-parenting, the physical demands of tour prep.
And any past traumas she's dealt with. She's bundling it all up and facing it head on.
And the sources show she is explicitly tying the outcome of this internal battle to her new identity. She said, "I've learned I've healed and am loving the woman I've become."
That's what this next era means to me, and I'm stepping into it better than ever.
That narrative of learning and healing is the perfect antidote to the non-peaceful divorce proceedings.
It suggests she's actively processing the negative elements of the past and using the emotional safety provided by Diggs and the responsibility of her kid to step onto that stage in February as a fundamentally stronger person.
It's the definition of professional excellence being leveraged by personal transformation.
We also have to reinforce Stefon Diggs' professional context and the enormous pressure he faces because the stakes for him are equally concrete.
Absolutely. He's a wide receiver for the New England Patriots, operating in the first year of a truly massive commitment.
A 3-year deal valued at $69 million. That kind of financial commitment is directly tied to performance, availability, and stability.
Let's sit with that $69 million figure for a moment. In the NFL, contracts that big often have complex language about, conduct detrimental to the team, or even clauses about consistent availability.
Exactly. While the sources don't detail his specific contract, the intense focus required to earn and justify that salary is absolute. His professional life demands singular focus and elite physical maintenance.
So, how does the added stress of a new baby, a newborn co-parenting arrangement, and a new joint custody commitment for Charlie, all happening at once, impact his ability to deliver on that multi-million-dollar commitment?
If he's required to frequently travel for his joint custody, or if the stress of navigating 4 complex family structures detracts from his mental readiness or physical recovery time.
There could theoretically be implications for his elite status. Now, there's no indication of any professional failure in the sources.
No, but they do highlight the added logistical pressure placed on a figure whose physical and mental prime is extremely valuable.
So the connection between their careers is clear. They both operate in this intense pressure cooker environment where any distraction is costly.
And they're leveraging their relationship to mitigate the instability of their family logistics. Cardi relies on Diggs to feel safe and strong to deliver her performance of a lifetime.
And Diggs needs that same foundation to maintain the discipline required for that $69 million contract while expanding his family unit.
It's a high-wire act of managing success. The sources present a couple who are not retreating from their professional demands in the face of family chaos.
No, in fact, they're using the joy and motivation of their expanded family to fuel their drive to be the greatest and demanding better organizational and emotional management from themselves.
Their shared goal of professional greatness becomes the measuring stick for their personal success. It's not just about tour sales or touchdowns anymore.
Right. It's about their capacity to successfully integrate these demanding, contrasting family realities into their relentless pursuit of excellence.
So to synthesize this whole journey for you, the listener, the deep dive into the source material reveals that the arrival of their son isn't a simple announcement. It's the climax of a hyper-accelerated timeline defined by profound complexity.
They're celebrating a new life built on mutual support, even as they negotiate the fallout of a non-peaceful divorce and immediately embrace new high-stakes co-parenting responsibilities.
The sources show a commitment to professional excellence that is explicitly and consciously leveraged by their new, emotionally fortified foundation. The personal and the professional are completely intertwined.
The chaos of Section 3 makes the emotional strength they find in Section 2 absolutely necessary to survive the demands of Section 4. They are actively defining what a modern, ambitious, blended family looks like under the brightest spotlight imaginable.
Okay, so here is our final provocative thought for you to carry forward, based entirely on the source material we've analyzed today.
Given Cardi B's firm declaration that her next professional chapter is entirely me versus me, a battle for self-mastery over internal obstacles, and Stefon Diggs' public desire for joint legal and physical custody of his newly acknowledged daughter, Charlie,
How might these high-stakes personal, legal, and co-parenting obligations ultimately shape their respective definitions of being the greatest in this new, complex era?
is greatness now fundamentally defined by performance? Or is it defined by their capacity to successfully manage this incredibly demanding blended personal life, ensuring stability for all their children while still achieving their career objectives? It forces us to consider where the true measure of success really lies when the personal chaos is this immense.